Right, ready.
My fellow compatriots, my American people, as we can see, we are standing in front of Walmart. This is not a mall, the standard mall that we see done all the places in America. But inside this Walmart, you also see stores inside that are independent businesses. We're just using that to make a point of the purpose of this video. This media release. Stop calling out the tech companies that have taken over our lives and have created severe inequalities that is going to harm, and it is harming a lot of minorities, a lot of poor people. This is not about race. Whether you are a poor white fellow, a poor black, a poor Indian, a poor female, a poor anybody, as long as you don't have money to be able to pay, to afford to pay the mob, the tech mob, in order for your businesses to be on the first page of ranking in search engines, for that is controlled mostly by Google, 90% by Google, and then by Microsoft, and it is impossible for you to survive in today's pandemic economy. And as we know that tech business, e-commerce tech is here to stay, it's not going backwards. That's the new system of our market system. And as a free market economy, if we have to survive, and if capitalism have to survive, if our democracy have to survive, we must address this inequity. There is no equity, there's no fairness, there's no justice. Even in business, we talk about laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is ability of businesses to treat and relate one another in fair practices. There are fair practices and fair standards that support a free market economy, where people who has money pays in order for their businesses to be advertising and to be visible online. And the more they pay, the higher their ranking. And if you don't have money to pay, you have no chance. You have no chance of surviving. It also tells to our freedom, fundamental right as a people, as Americans. The main thing that makes us as Americans is being taken away from us. Somebody tells us who to vote, which information that is available in the media. For the same reason, by the click of a button, then that's the end of it. And I speak to you also as a tech specialist, as an information specialist, as an IT specialist, as a security specialist. In this particular field, it's so easy by manipulating algorithms and codes and programs on a computer. You can target somebody directly to their own personal phone and personal computers. And if you look in your phone today, you will see that even when your phone is idle, you see ad coming to your phone. And then if you're having a conversation with your wife, with your children, with your family, or with your friends, the next thing you see an ad pop up. You turn to your computer, you see, how did they know you were just talking about that? Then you see some ad coming to you. But those ads they bring to you comes from those that have more money to pay. So it's not like what you have seen as we moved around from different businesses and different stores. These are places and many more places that during the pandemic, when God was angry with the people and us for the things they had done, and say, I can tear the businesses down, and they thought it was a joke, and it happened, they tore the businesses down. I went around different businesses, laying my hands and praying to God and say, God, here, see me. Please restore the businesses back, and it is back. The same IT companies are the one making all the monies. But where are the small businesses? They took the loans and all the things that were available even in the pandemic. I criticized that, and yet they didn't have the money to support the small businesses. Where are the dreams, the American dream, the visions of those that established the business and have run the business all these years, but they can survive? Are they going to survive online? And of course, the tech company thought it was the attack against the tech company, but it was part of God's plan already, that businesses getting online, which I have been speaking about, that businesses getting online, learning the IT and the technology, the significance of it, the application of technologies to businesses, so that they know that this is the future. And they have seen how they suffered. For those that heard me when I spoke about that and didn't do anything about that, of course their businesses suffer because they have no presence online. Neither will anybody hear or see their businesses, because many of these people have no money in order to pay for the toll to be in the ranking on the first page. So that if you search to buy a car, or if you search to buy any food that you eat, or clothes at basic, the houses, rentals, anything that you need, if yours does not make into the first page, you have lost out. If it doesn't make into the second page, you have no chance at all. and then there is no system of retorting and revolving that people can see this. As you can see, here is Walmart. It is stationary. It's not going everywhere. Everybody that comes here, as you see, people that go in and out, you cannot tell who is poor and who is rich. Neither can you tell the status or in any ramification of all the people that are going in there. There is equity and there is justice and there is fairness. If you go there, everybody walks around and everybody has access to the same place. It might take them time to get to see all the products there, but they can walk around and see every product that is in this mall or in this store or in any mall. You can go and visit every store that is there equally. But that's not the case with our e-commerce, and as my challenge that when the technology people has to be ethical to consider the social responsibility, the democratic responsibility, and economic responsibility, political responsibility, the social responsibility, and how these things affect our fellow citizens. And without that, then it is immoral. Can you imagine that the Lord, our God, decides to say that only poor people will be able to stay in this earth, and decide to start to kill off all the rich people, just like all the businesses that can survive because they cannot be able to be visible to have people to come and buy from them and patronize from them. Because the earth is a platform, and in order to take care of the earth, we have to take care of the human beings that live there. And if their dreams and their visions are destroyed because they are poor, just like a lot of systems that we have in place that punish the poor. If you have a traffic ticket and then you go to jail, or you will not be able to exercise your right because you are poor, not because you don't want to pay your ticket, but because you didn't have money to pay for the ticket, and also to pay for anything that is allowed and available anywhere in this life that we are supposed to live, the fullness of it, to enjoy the abundance of God's blessing. So that is why I am making this video that's going to both candidates, for them to tell us, how are you going to restore free market that is equal, justice and fair to our businesses and all our transactions, our relationships? That's what I want to think about today. And you have a wonderful day. And then there's more coming, and we have more that is coming.